Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk about something that really struck a chord with me recently. And if you like these kind of videos, I'm going to be doing more and more of them where they're kind of more long form, more just one cut, where I'm literally going to be talking about something that's a bit meaningful to me, that's had a big impact on my life. I'm not going to be edgy and lots of cool cuts. I'm not that good of an editor, but I'm just going to go into a few things that are very, very deep and important to me and a lot of people that I surround myself with. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about, I recently watched this series called Good Place. It's an incredible, incredible series. And, you're watching it's like, oh shit, he watches Netflix? I know. A terrible person, right? But, even I watch Netflix on occasion, right? And at the end of this whole series, one of the main characters, he goes into this incredible quote. And the quote reads something like this. I'm going to completely butcher this. But essentially, he uses the idea of a wave, coming out from the ocean. And the wave is like our lives on Earth, right? We come into Earth and we're like that wave coming out of the ocean, coming out of the universe. And the wave isn't sad when it has to crash to the shore. When it crashes back into the ocean, it's just returning to whence it came. It's just returning to the universe. Now, he did it way more poetically than me. I suggest you check it out. But this old Buddhist idea that we are simply just the universe expressing itself in a different form, experience itself from a different perspective. We're not separate beings from everyone else. We're not separate beings from where I am in nature right now. We're simply all connected, and that when we die, when we leave this earth, we're actually just going back into the universe, expressing ourselves in a different form. We're all infinitely connected, and we really can't lose anything. In fact, the only time that we really ever feel alone is when we're in a separate body and a separate being on our times on Earth. Maybe this is right, maybe this is wrong, but I thought it was a really interesting philosophy to start introspecting, because it has a profound effect on our lives. When we realize that we are connected to people, we stop looking at people in different ways. We realize that they are very, very similar to us. And even when they make mistakes or they do things that anger us or annoy us, we realize that it's coming from the same place as if we were to do them. For example, say you did something horrible. Maybe you feel guilty, maybe you feel terrible. But it probably wasn't because you're a terrible person. It probably was because you made a mistake, because you came from a different perspective. Even the worst people in the world are just coming from a horrible, different perspective. And when we do this, and we can try and kind of allow ourselves to be very empathetic from that point of view and realize that they are just the same as us. They are connected to this world. We are just a wave coming out of the same ocean. Then we can actually really forgive. We can not just fake forgive. This whole idea of I forgive them, but it's really very, very surface level, and it's what would be kind of the word where you show your morals off to people, right? We don't want to be doing that. Instead, we want to realize that we can actually forgive people. We can actually just walk around feeling that we can connect with people. And this is very, very important for when it comes to relationships. If you constantly see people as separate to you, if you constantly see people as, not the same as you, well, of course you're going to have a barrier to talking to them. If you put them as higher than you, how can someone who is the same as you be higher than you? When you go and connect with someone at a venue or a bar, on the street or whatever, you see a beautiful girl and you want to approach, whatever it ends up being, think that they are the same as you, that you can really, really connect. You came from the same ocean. The only thing that's separating you is your current ego, is your current mind. And I'm still very young and new to these topics and trying to understand and apply it in my own life. And I'm not perfect. A lot of you will hear us, we're like, oh my God, he's going crazy. But that's okay. Because I'm just learning along the way, just as you are. I'm trying to apply it into my life. And even when I'm starting talking to people, I remember when I first got into getting good with girls, getting success with women. Where did it come from? It came from a very egoic nature. I needed to get those results so I could prove that I was worthy. The more I got into this stuff, the more I realized that, first of all, when you come from that frame, it actually makes it harder to get results because you're coming from very negative, draining energy. But the more you're looking just to connect with people, have the best time. Maybe you're meant to connect. Maybe you're meant to have more of an experience and have a relationship, whatever it ends up being. Or maybe you're just meant to meet that night and never see each other again. Whatever ends up being, there's no judgment, there's no worry, because you know that you're infinitely connected. You know that you're not worried about what they might think, because guess what? Everyone's in the same boat, everyone's in the same journey, and it shows much more about them than it does about you. We're all in this infinite connected world where we come from the same ocean. We're just a way of expressing ourselves in a different way for a little bit of time. We don't need to get attached to that. We don't need to worry about when we crash into the ocean, about how it will feel, about what we'll lose. Because we'll actually gain everything. We'll actually realise who we actually are. And then maybe we'll go and express ourselves as something different for a little bit of time. Just start, pondering these ideas. Start including them in your life and just see where it takes you. See how it changes your approach to, success with women, or success with money, or success with whatever. Stop judging yourself for not being perfect, and stop judging others for doing something that you would probably do in their situation. Realize that you can connect with people very, very easily because they're not separate from you. They come from the same ocean, they come from the same universe. And when you come from that frame of we're all connected, let's have fun, let's see where this goes. Maybe we're meant to have a great relationship, maybe we're not. Completely relaxed, completely neutral, not outcome dependent. Then that's how you get real results, within real results when it comes to successful women's success in life. And it's not through some technique or line, it's through just realization of who we actually are. Now, if you like this type of content, it's been incredible talking to you, doing this kind of one take. And if you really, really like it, just subscribe, like, comment, and tell me what you think of this kind of video. If you like it, if you want me to do more, and I'll see you in the next one.